Hi, I'm Peter Menard with the Smithers Fire Department, and what we have here today is just a small demonstration of some fairly big information on fire behavior, fire pattern, or not fire patterns, but fire flow or the flow path, reading some smoke, and this dollhouse here is what we're going to use to demonstrate that whole thing for you. So what we're going to do here is we're going to just light it up, and we'll talk about it as we go through it, but we should be able to see some good fire behavior produced from this, even up to flashovers and stuff like that. So I'll just light it up. So what we have here is we're just getting the incipient stage of the fire, so the ignition phase. So we're just trying to get the wood to burn on its own. So we're just adding some torch here to try to get that started. And once we have the fire burning on its own, then we'll be able to manipulate how much air we provide the fire by simply opening and closing our sliders. The temperature of the wood and inside this fire room needs to get hot enough that it's going to start to off gas, and then those off gases will ignite with the flame that we have burning. Just let that burn for a bit there so we can see it. So this third room up here is an isolated room. It has no openings to that room. It's sealed off like as if a bedroom door was shut. So as you can see, there's a little bit of smoke seeping in there, but not as much as this room here. It's starting to really, as you can see through the window here, it's starting to produce some good smoke in there, and there's an opening that goes to that room. We'll just let that burn a bit to try to get a little more heat going there. So it's starting to off gas a lot more now. You can see the OSB here is starting to off gas more, which is going to allow the smoke and the heat to really build within this compartment. I'm just going to shut this door here. So now we're starting to get enough heat and stuff coming out of there, and we might be able to shut this door down a bit. So as you can see, we have the air getting pulled in this compartment here, so it's looking for oxygen. So what it's doing is it's pulling in fresh air down here, and it's exhausting here. So the smoke is pushing out here, and the low pressure is going in here, and this little area right here is called the neutral plane. Okay, so now we're starting to get more heat. So if we shut that down, you can see it kind of flash there a little bit. See how much air is getting drawn in there right now? So that's our intake, and this is our exhaust. If we shut this down, this should change into, and you can see it flashed over there already. It will change into our exhaust and intake. So if we open that up again, we get it rolling in there again, and then I'll shut it down, and you'll see it. Should come across there. So what this is telling me is that smoke is fuel. So wherever the smoke can go, so can the fire. So if we limit our oxygen to our fire, if we shut everything down, it'll build pressure inside. But if we open up a door, we have to be very aware that it could flash on us. Just because it's vent limited, or just because we don't see a lot showing through the structure at this time, doesn't mean that there isn't a lot of pressure and heat inside, and it will ignite.
Oh yeah, right in the corner.
So you can see the smoke has changed color here. It's got a lot more velocity. It's changed color to more of a brownish dark gray color, and that's indicating that it's burning structure. There's off-gassing happening of the wood that's inside this structure. So if we open up this door here, and then we open up this floor, as you can see, it's really starting to push out there. And you can see the fire starting to travel up. We have major intake here. This is our exhaust up here. Shut it down and let it build some heat. And then we'll open the door, and you can see the fire starting to roll out the door there a little bit. And we open up the fire room door. If we were to go right to this door here, we get flashover. So we have to coordinate our attack with our ventilation. If we overventilate without having an attack line in place, we will create flashovers.
It's right through from the inside.
Okay, let's try to move the fire over this way. Here. So now we have our intake is on the second floor and our exhaust is up on the roof. So smoke is fuel. That's all it indicates right there. So just because you see smoke rolling through a building doesn't mean it can't ignite with the proper temperature and the right ignition source.
You want to do that once more?
So we'll just get the smoke going here again. Right enough there. Now we're seeing more dark, heavy smoke. That's all the off-gassing that is happening. It's just burning right here on the surface. It's not even burning down in the hole. It was just burning on the surface. It was just the right oxygen, the right amount of heat, and then the ignition. We do the same thing down here. So now our intake is now becoming our exhaust. And you can see it's just the smoke burning like right along here. It's not even burning inside the compartment at all. It's just enough oxygen on the outside of the building to create that ignition. Now you see the smoke is a lot blacker coming out of the top. We overventilate. We also have a bit of wind, which can drive a fire in a certain direction. Small little flash there, nothing significant. You can see when I open this door here, you want to film that, so I'll open it there, get it to ignite. And then when I see how that changed. It was kind of pushing out and then it's sucking in, pushing out, sucking in. If we were to shut the ceiling down, it doesn't really produce a lot of the more heat we create, the more it's just going to roll. things we look for in smoke is color, velocity, density. So smoke is fuel. Wherever it can go, so can the fire. You know, that smoke has changed from when we first started. See, the fire's way out here. It's not even in the compartment, it's just that smoke is getting enough heat and enough oxygen mix to create the flame. So that can happen inside of a structure. So say we're inside of a structure, the seat of the fire might be at the back of the house, but we're coming through, say, the delta side, and we're a ways from the fire. All that smoke rolling over our heads, we need to cool that as we enter into the structure, because if we don't, that can happen. Definitely got enough heat in the structure now that we can get it to flash several times here. I'm gonna pull this glass out before we can't anymore. No more floor left between the two. So at this point it's fully involved, and the only thing to do is stand back, hit it with a 2.5 and monitors, and just douse it. And the heat just coming off of this little building is pretty significant. Let it burn to the ground there, and hopefully you all learned some stuff about fire behavior and how smoke travels through a structure, and wherever the smoke can go, so can the fire. Smoke is fuel, so be aware.